Who's ready for gaming? Ooh! All right, gamers, it's time for episode number 4 of the RGH podcast, and damn, do we look good today. I'm Mtashed, we've got True Vanguard below me, and a Kackis to my right.
Hello?
We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of gaming today, a ton of stuff. We're going to talk about the Mtashed Twitch drama, we're going to talk about YouTube, we're going to talk about Xbox and Bethesda, crazy stuff with the pre-orders, and we're going to be talking about the COD Alpha and the skill-based matchmaking war that's been going on online.
That's a lot of crazy stuff that went down this week. You know, that's one of the things that I love right now about the gaming community is that there's just news back to back to back. It certainly makes our lives a lot easier.
Never a dry podcast. Let me tell you, Real Gamer Hour, we're hitting I'm telling you guys, once we started Real Gamer Hour, have you guys noticed? We start this podcast, all right? You guys watching, you join us. Guess what? every gaming company, once we start this podcast, has been making moves, dude. We got the Xbox announced, we got the PlayStation announced, Microsoft's buying Bethesda. Now, none of this happened before we started the podcast.
Yeah, no,
But I'm
literally,
just saying,
they're trying to give us the
why did you
drama.
put this on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yo,
Also-
Major Nelson confirmed, like, real gamer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, we started the podcast and somehow 4 episodes in, we all forgot to record our audio again. ... We're still
I'm gonna try
learning.
this again.
I'm doing mine.
This is a whole new adventure. It's been really fun. And I was kind of saying it earlier. It's a cool outlet because I like talking about all this stuff. I want to talk about all this stuff. But on my typical channel, I don't really talk about this kind of widespread gaming news. But there's so much going on right now and going into the next gen season and everything. It's going to be good. But
Tell me you don't like to put a bunch of time into putting out a video that's not Destiny and then just get a bunch of comments saying trash, not Destiny.
where's the
Dislike?
Destiny? Hey, nice 100 views, Mtashed. Killing it.
All right. Hey, first thing we got to talk about.
Mm.
Yo, we got some resolution, I guess, to the Twitch drama that we had yesterday. Every single day, we got some new Twitch drama thanks to Mtashed over here.
Wow.
Is there anywhere you're banned from this week, or is it kind of the same?
No, actually, we're good this week. No bans this week. Actually got
Nice.
unbanned early for good behavior, so screw you.
Yeah, they
but-
let you out early on good behavior. That's right.
Yeah, it's a first. But I did get unbanned. I got unbanned after 3 days, like 12 hours or something like that. But it's actually kind of unprecedented. That doesn't happen that often. And we were kind of talking about it. Did I get unbanned because they looked at the information and they unbanned me? Did they unban me because there was a bunch of drama?
Right,
And,
was it the blowback? Yeah.
right? There was
Dude.
a lot of people tweeting about it, commenting, retweeting, tagging people that work at Twitch. There was people, even some of my sponsors, like at Astro, they reached out to people they knew. Did they unban me because of the shitstorm or because, someone actually looked at it? I don't know.
Now, for those who may not know, we had a Real Gamer Hour exclusive where the reason, I'm just going to quickly summarize it, the reason Tash got banned was because he literally opened up someone who got banned, Wish You Luck Stream, who had been banned, just quickly opened it up, saw he was kind of breaking down, he was crying, he was having a bad time, and Mtash went out of his way to say, hey, stop harassing this guy. He's not doing anything wrong. People were making up that he was, being toxic and he wasn't. So through being literally wholesome and opening the stream to show the chat, hey, this guy's not doing anything wrong. See,
Yeah.
right?
Trying to
got banned.
squash toxicity.
Yeah, you got banned for not being toxic. I mean, that's Twitch. Twitch
Yeah.
2020, dude. We're coming
And-
after
and
you.
we kinda-
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say I hate to be cynical, I really do, but I feel like if people didn't raise a stink, I don't think you would have gotten out early. And I hate to be cynical, I could be wrong, but I really do firmly
Yeah.
believe that.
Someone at Twitch watched the segment on the Real Gamer Hour and was like, "Oh shit, we better, yikes, dude!"
Well,
Because
and I mean, we did the Real Gamer Hour on YouTube because we had to. We literally had to because I was banned at the time. And we popped off. Like, the stream did good. I tweeted about it, and I was like, man, damn, YouTube streaming is looking good. Fwiz even replied to me, and he's like, yeah, man, come on over. So I wonder
Yeah.
if Twitch saw that, and they're like, yo!
Oh shoot!
Yo,
Wouldn't it
unban
buy
this
some
guy,
good
bro!
Yeah.
I mean, we're still doing well. We got over 400 people watching right now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And this is a wrong day.
420 right now.
We're not supposed to be streaming today. We're supposed to be streaming tomorrow. Mtash, I would like to tell the fellas why we can't stream tomorrow.
Well, I'm away. I'm literally playing in a real life battle royale where I could die. Maybe.
Okay.
I'm doing
Yeah,
a
I'll be
battle
too bad.
royale, a paintballing thing, so I'm actually going out of town. It's going to be really cool. Can't wait, but podcast had to go a little bit early because I'm going to be on a plane, so is what it is.
Basically, Tash sells out so hard, dude. He can't even make it to his own podcast.
Come on,
Like,
man.
you can't even find. We get we asked for 1 day a week. Tash, can you not sell out? For 1 day a week? we literally can't even get that.
I mean, are you going to turn down
I turned
paintballing
it
for
down
money?
because I was like, I'm here for the podcast.
Wait, you're gonna
bro.
turn down what? What's the paycheck?
Oh,
Hey, no leaking,
No,
no
I
leak-
turned it down.
Yeah, well, you're
Alright.
the big gun. So, anyways,
No, but for real,
Oh,
if you
man.
guys do want to make sure that you don't miss an episode, it's probably worth your while to go ahead and follow the Twitter account, because anytime we have a change to the schedule, or there's something different, like we're going to be on a different platform or a different time slot, whatever, that's where we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. We like you got to keep up to date with who's banned on what platform. Like, always follow the Twitter. But also, one of the things is interesting is like about this whole drama. Like the interesting thing is, Tash, you got banned in the middle of the craziest drama. Like it was at the exact same time. It was like right after they introduced intrusive mid-roll ads, like where the creator would have no control over where to put the ads. And again, it's not like a YouTube video is one thing. You can always rewind. This live stream is another, dude. And so you'd like be, imagine a world's first raid race. They're just about to kill the raid boss, and then you learn about The Boys season 3, and you're like, whoa, what? You know what I mean? So that happened. Everyone's furious. Right after that, like the Latino month thing, where the Latino culture month, where they literally had emotes where you could add sombreros and like maracas to them, and that was they thought this is a good idea. And then right after that, dude, Tash is banned. It was like whammy after whammy. So it was like Twitch was just imploding that week.
Yeah.
Holy crap. So that's another reason we came over. And also, on Twitch, we have to like fight. We would have to fight for affiliate and then partner. On YouTube, you guys are watching right here, we're already monetized on YouTube. In fact, we have super chat enabled. Like you guys can utilize super chat right now if you want to, like totally up to you. Next episode, we're going to have memberships enabled, where we're going to have like a member only chat where a lot of people want to suggest topics, and we're going to enable that so you guys can suggest hey, I heard about this like this is something that YouTube is really ahead of the ball. Like we don't have to like fight for all this stuff. YouTube is pretty early at giving us this, and it just makes it so it's a no-brainer, dude.
Yeah. And if you ever wonder, does that stuff actually matter? Like making the suggestions, giving the feedback and the comments, it matters a ton. I know all three of us actually, between episodes, we screenshot individual comments that we see on the episodes. We share them with each other. We're listening to your feedback, and you guys are really instrumental in how we progress with episode after episode after episode. So thank you for your engagement. Thank you for your involvement. So we really do appreciate that.
Yeah, make sure you're following us on Twitter and like following us here, hitting the bell, but please keep commenting, because there are going to be slow weeks where there's not 5 different consoles launching and crazy drama, and we're going to need to know, some other things in the community that are going on, right?
Next week, it's going to be like, Sega introduces a new console to compete with Xbox.
I'm in, man.
Dreamcast 2, baby.
Yeah, man. No online play, but we're gonna make it work.
Yeah. All right, let's move on from. Let's stop begging for money here, and let's go.
Hold on. Wait, we didn't talk about the big thing I want to talk about. I've been hounding them. It's week 4. I'm like, please, can we talk about YouTube streaming? Not about us getting memberships, not about us getting emotes or super chat. I know, but listen. YouTube streamers have been popping off. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to some of these numbers, but Valkyrie is hitting drastically higher numbers than she ever saw on Twitch. Courage JD, triple to even 4 times the viewership that he had back on Twitch. He's getting 130,000 people in a stream. It's insanity.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, so many people go to YouTube for gaming content. It's just you have everything right there. You can go from a stream straight to a video. You can go from a video straight to someone's stream. Having everything on one platform, it's interesting. Yeah. We did talk about this other stream. The one disadvantage is that YouTube will only send out so many notifications. So if you try to post a video and a stream, one of those is not going out to subscribers as much as the other one, right?
Right. It might get suppressed a little bit. Like the big thing is, the people that are succeeding and thriving on YouTube, is it because it's Dr. Disrespect and people are Googling him anyways? Is it because they're already Googling Courage? We don't know exactly. I mean, our stream here did really, really well the first time. It's doing really good today. But, is it because we're not doing YouTube videos and streaming and all those different things and bogging it down?
It's a different game to play for sure. So a lot of people are used to the Twitch setup and that whole system. And that system is not like algorithm optimization. It's not search engine optimization. It really is just, what do your numbers look like, And
the people,
YouTube is just a completely different game to play. So over here, it's a little bit more user friendly. I think if you're going to take the time to invest your time into learning how the algorithm works, learning how the search engine works, you can actually earn yourself views over here without having to import them from somewhere else first, like you kind of have to do on Twitch.
Hey, the people popping off on YouTube, right? They're the people that they're streamers who upload stream highlights as videos, aka the laziest content ever. Mtash, that's what you do, right?
Hey, wait, whoa. No,
Some
it's,
of us don't have to script ourselves to be entertaining. That's
Okay.
the difference.
Oh, whoa! Yeah.
listen,
Hey,
I'm getting sick of carrying
jokes
this
aside-
podcast from you.
Jokes aside, that legitimately is part of it. I think most people succeeding on YouTube streaming are streamers first,
Right?
and they make content second. The other way around, again, that whole suppression of notifications really hurts you. But I think it's time to move to the next topic.
All
'Cause I
right.
swear we talked about this last week.
Fair enough.
Guys, do y'all have $7.5 billion to spare? Because
We
if
will
you
by the
did,
end of episode 10.
you could have finally stopped Skyrim from releasing on every platform, dude. You could have finally done something about that, dude. Oh my gosh. Microsoft sweeps in, makes an unbelievable statement. And this is so surprising that they didn't include this. They must have been literally in negotiations, like in litigation.
I agree.
For their big announcement, right? Of the Xbox. Remember how the S got leaked early and then they kind of came out with it? Perhaps they were gonna do everything at once, announce the S, announce if the prices. By the way, we bought Bethesda. Let's go, baby. And then just dude, huge news.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge news, because the biggest point of concern that people have with Xbox is that, hey, all the moves you're making, they seem really great. Your prices are hyper competitive. I'm interested. My only problem is I'm a hardcore gamer, and the exclusives on PlayStation that Sony has lined up are just better. And Microsoft is saying, listen, we've been, and it's not, here's the thing that we have to remember. It's not just about Bethesda, but they have been slowly making progressive moves to buy developers that they want to have under their umbrella. I mean, go back to 2014 when they picked up Mojang. That's Mojang does Minecraft Dungeons that popped off recently. They bought Obsidian, Obsidian, if you're not familiar with Obsidian, they're sort of connected with Bethesda. They spearheaded the development of New Vegas, right? Knights of the Old Republic. Okay, so they know how to make good quality games that people love. They picked up Ninja Theory in 2017, 2018 area as well. Playground. I mean, they have been making moves to get developers that make quality games. So they are
the chart. Someone released an image of all the developers that Microsoft now has, and it's insane. And it's quality developers, right? We're not talking Bungie here. We're talking. I'm just kidding. No. This is such a move, because I think you got to remember that there are two Bethesdas. There is Bethesda, the developers that make Skyrim, and then there's Bethesda, the publishing studio, and they bought the publishing studio. So again, there's multiple developers under Bethesda. I think Wolfenstein. I don't think Wolfenstein is made by Bethesda the devs. It's published by Bethesda.
right.
So that's a great example of that. And so it's not just Skyrim. Everyone's making Skyrim jokes. It's not just Skyrim. It is everything but that. Doom is a perfect example of that. Xbox now has Doom, dude, and Doom has been popping off. Both of the new Dooms have been really well received. So Game Pass, which was already an insane value, bro.
Yeah, I guess. The stuff will be on the Game Pass, whether you're on PC or Xbox. A lot of these games are going to have access to, and it's just adding to the value of that. And speaking of the Game Pass, did you not see? Apparently, they have 15 million monthly users.
They're up
$150 million a month. What the hell?
They're up
50%
in the past 6 months, I think.
So
It's
that's
crazy.
$2 billion a year.
Dude,
150 million a month. That's insanity.
Dude, that's bro, Sony fanboys. Are you shaking right now? Are you shivering right now?
Shut up.
Are you in they're not in chat. They're in the fetal position, off to the side. These Sony I'm telling dude, but holy crap, this is just incredible value. And the best part is that this is actually affecting cross-platform. Legitimately, this is affecting cross-platform, because not only is Game Pass on the Xbox, and like whether you're a PlayStation fanboy or not, so many people are going to be buying Xbox, and like, hey, that's a good deal. But there is a PC version of Game Pass, and there are a ton of great games on that. So all those Bethesda things, like PC gamers are also thrilled by this news, which is usually you wouldn't have that, but now you have 2/3 of the well, I guess for Nintendo aside, but like this is huge for PC and Xbox.
Yeah, because the thing is it's almost scary when all these big publishers are getting bought, because it's like, well, what if they go exclusive? Well, anyone who has a PC would have access to all these games as well. So at least if Microsoft is buying it, like honestly, I'd prefer it compared to going to PlayStation and being exclusive to PlayStation, because in a lot of cases you might not see that game unless you're getting the console. At least now, Xbox players are getting it, PC players are getting it, but the big one, that Game Pass is insanity how valuable it is. Like it's crazy.
It is nuts. I mean, imagine getting Elder Scrolls 6 for free because you've been paying $15 a month. You know what I mean? On launch. That's crazy stuff. Yeah. And I think that Microsoft they're coming at it from a different perspective. They're trying to become something bigger than just a console. They're not just a piece of hardware anymore. They're trying to make a gaming industry in and of themselves that's self-sustainable. And I think that's a smart play, because they're making gaming more accessible, more affordable on multiple platforms, whether you're a PC gamer or a console gamer, and you're not limited by hardware quite as much. I think these are great moves.
I think we said it last time too. It feels like gamers as a whole are winning right now. Like it seems like right now they just step after step, addition after addition, accessibility to accessibility. We're all winning between the consoles, between the Game Pass, between the financing options. I'm excited to be a gamer, and honestly, I'm excited to be a gaming content creator. Like, bro, this industry is only going up. They're making it more accessible for everyone. Those people that are like, maybe I don't want to buy a console, they're buying consoles. And we're seeing it right now because no one can even buy a console, bro.
Oh my goodness,
Before we get into that topic, dude, it's so insane right now. People are buying... Guys, sales of Xbox Ones, the old one, are up 759%, because people are buying consoles so fast and furiously. They're not even checking which console to buy. They're just clicking. That's the one. Yeah, like, dude, people's moms are making some big mistakes. It's gonna be
some kids like, are you kidding me? What?
Mom, that's the one.
What is this?
It's a Series X, not the 1X.
You're gonna like it. I don't care. I bought this for you.
You're gonna take this console. You're gonna like it. Oh my god.
Like,
dude.
are you?
That's a real figure. 759%. That's
crazy.
Holy crap, dude.
It went from like the 2,000 something most bought item on Amazon to the top 400 or something like that in one day. But it's like,
oh my god,
are kids gonna get this on Christmas, and grandma's like so excited, and then they're like, this is wrong. Grandma
wrote on the floor.
She has a heart attack and die. Like, bro, it's bad.
This is so bad. Like, but yeah, that goes into hey, Xbox making hella moves, obviously. And again, this is the Game Pass. We're all Destiny content creators. It was put on today on the Game Pass. I'm sure they've saw like quite a growth in numbers too. Like, it's such good value. The fact that you get all the big expansions, like, truly insane. Like, they could have easily just had the a base game, and like the fact that you get all the expansions and Beyond Light when it launches, you're just set. Like, you can invest in Destiny, right? And then you don't have to worry about buying another expansion when Beyond Light comes out. But
wait. Honestly, I just want to jump on that point as well. So another thing too, though, is if they did buy Bethesda, and Bethesda, like, let's say Skyrim and the other stuff is going to go on the Game Pass. What if the next Elder Scrolls is on that Game Pass and the DLCs? Right?
Oh yeah,
because they always make like, that's a 5-year game, right? Dude, that's a long game.
Yeah, it's gonna release 10 more times, I guess. But like, honestly, because I think Xbox has said first-party games come to Game Pass either right away or immediately, and now Bethesda games are first-party games, right?
Think how much money you would save if it does go on the Game Pass. Like,
the next Elder Scrolls
and the DLCs, like, we're looking at like $100, boys.
Starfield.
Yeah, that's right.
Starfield.
Star Citizen?
The next Doom, whenever they make. No, Starfield. It's like that new. Never
even heard of it.
Wow. Well, some people cover the news. Yeah, he's exposed. All right, but let's talk. You mentioned earlier. Not only are people ordering the wrong Xbox, they can't even get the Xbox or the PlayStation, dude. The PlayStation sales went up like as they announced it, and no one, and it was just a disaster, bro.
Yeah,
Like it was like, oh my goodness, it was bad.
Well,
I think it was probably more on the retailer side,
Probably.
but
Probably.
Sony did take it responsibility. They tweeted out like they basically just tweeted out like, "Hey, that didn't go so hot. We know. We'll do better." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Well, they didn't do anything to really protect against the bots, which is the biggest thing. Like,
Oh no, Nvidia didn't. Nvidia just added
no one
CAPTCHA.
did. Xbox hardly did. PlayStation didn't either. PlayStation was really bad too. PlayStation was awful. You can't find one. And
well, everyone in their like bots found one.
yeah, so like I know,
and they're reselling them for like $900 now,
or 50,000. Have you seen that? The counter scalpers. People are buying the cards and they're trying to resell it. So there's people on Reddit and like 4chan, and they're bidding up the price with like VPNs and bots, so that on eBay it's like $50,000, but then they just never pay. And it just every time they see one for sale, they just bought it up so no one can buy it. Because no one ever comes through and pays for it. It's so true.
That is how to combat these scalpers, bro.
That's hilarious, actually.
They're sitting there, they think they're gonna make $50,000. Psych! Yeah, like, why'd you just let people have nice things, bro? Come on. I think that's hilarious, dude.
Internet police for the win.
Hey, but I mean, like, this whole thing, and then Xbox, at least the Xbox put a little jab in there. I don't know if you guys saw the Twitter account where their Xbox was like,
no.
Hey, we won't surprise you guys. We'll let you know exactly when they're on pre-order. They're on pre-order September 22nd. Like, Xbox was very clear and kind of a jab at Sony because everyone panicked last minute for Sony. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure people were kind of upset like that. They're at work or whatever, and they're like,
I wish
I would have known it would have become available to buy today. Like, what the heck? And Xbox was like, no, we're doing it. But even Xbox like got sold out by everywhere. And then like you've got all the sketchy things where people buy from all these different places, and then like they buy from Walmart, or I think I saw a thing from like Target or Amazon where it's like, due to extremely high demand, you might not get one right away, gamer. Like it was like, yeah, and the delivery times are like you get it like the 13th to like the 18th. And it's like one of those dates is very acceptable. The other one is like not at all. Like if I get it like a week late, dude.
If you get it, like if you even get it. And that's the thing is some people are ordering or trying to pre-order in like 3 spots. And you know, I guess the thing I'm wondering is it because demand is so high? Is it because they weren't able to produce enough because of all this crazy COVID stuff? Like where is this lack of accessibility coming from? Is there just no PlayStations because literally everyone bought them? Or did they make a third of what they were supposed to? It's such a tough thing to answer. And the crazy thing is it didn't just happen with PlayStation. It happened with PlayStation, both versions of the Xbox, the 3080, most likely the 3070 and the 3090 will as well. It seems like either there are so many gamers out there that are excited about the new tech, or there's a supplying problem. And I don't know which one it is.
No, you're wrong on both.
You think so?
You're wrong on both.
All right, put the tinfoil hat on.
There it comes.
All right, here we go. What's going on?
Here's what's really happening, okay? Here's what's really happening. Neither. Obviously, there's quite a demand because it's a new console. We all know that. No, like, there's going to be a lot of people trying to purchase both the PlayStation and the Xbox. But the reason they sold out is because they didn't produce that many / they didn't list that many. And the reason why is because it creates exactly what we're talking about. Because now when they restock on Xboxes, if you're on the fence, right? Maybe you're going to be like, dude, these sold out immediately last time. I have to get it. I have to get it. It's that like exclusivity. That's why when people sell merch, it's only available for a week. Last day, guys. Last day, you got to do it. You got to do it. Like the Fortnite store, only here for one day. When are you going to see the skin again? Who knows? Like it's gone, right? Like it's all done on purpose. I guarantee they have more Xboxes, more PlayStations coming. It's done so that people are priced into buying because I think it's going to sell out. Right.
I think I'm with Rick on this one. Yeah, and that's honestly that's why I have not pre-ordered either one of them yet. I'm really not concerned. There's a lot of time between now and then, and I think we're gonna be just fine. But right now, they are making you feel like this is such an exclusive thing to be a person who got your hands on one. They're
Yeah.
creating this sense of urgency for
Mhm.
the buyers, and the buyers are gonna feel that pressure, and they're gonna snatch up consoles
If
when
you
they're
see it
available.
available randomly on Walmart, like
Yeah.
you're probably gonna like, you have that feeling of like, oh crap, if I don't do it, it's like you know what I mean? Like every time you book a plane ticket, there's only ever like one spot left. And it's,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's like, oh really? Oh, there's only one spot. How can I
Right.
book like 5 seats then? You know what I mean?
Right.
And or an Expedia does that too and stuff. But I'm just hoping, hey, I'm just saying I will sell out to PlayStation or Xbox. Whoever wants to give me that console,
Yeah,
I'm
send them over.
open. I'll do
But
an unboxing video.
I was just accusing Mike of being a sellout. Like,
Hey,
bro,
I sell out.
this is the pot and this
I'm
is the
selling out
kettle.
once
Get
a year.
pot.
I'm selling out.
So.
Hey, I sell out once a year. Tash sells out once a week, bro. Okay.
I'm selling out daily, baby. Advanced.gg, our sponsor.
Oh!
No, hold on. Before I get into the sponsor, that's the thing though too. Is it is such an exclusive thing that not only are they going to buy it and they're hunting for it, but they're also going to tweet about it and go on Facebook and do an
Instagram
Instagram post. I got an Xbox, right? Every single
Yeah,
person
yeah.
that bought a PS4, I know about it, or a PS5. I know about it. Like it is on Twitter. I'm telling you.
I know
And,
it's Brit dead. Again,
You're right. You're right. It is. It's that
tinfoil
hype
hat. The
beast.
tinfoil hat's been right a lot of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you heard what's this advanced GG you mentioned, Tashi boy?
Well, let me just get into it. Advanced.gg/RGH. We have our own discount code for Advanced GG. They make an amazing energy drink. They've got the Focus line, which is clinically tested and proven to improve your cognitive focus while doing things like gaming and studying and all those other things. They've also got a green tea caffeine line in the energy. And they've also got some chill. But we can't talk about that or else I'm going to get banned again. Advanced.gg is an incredible product. They've been sponsoring us since we started this beautiful little podcast. Make sure to use code RGH at checkout for a 10% discount, and it helps support us. Also, there's super chats, there's going to be memberships, there's going to be a tinfoil hat emote, there's going to be Mtashed emotes, True Vanguard emotes, Kackis emotes. In the next week or so, we're going to have those enabled, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to have chat available for members to submit questions and answer, and it's going to be just lit. So let's stop selling out.
Make sure you guys make emote suggestions too. Like if we're talking drama, do you want a juicy emote? Like let us know because you guys are the ones that are going to be using them.
Yeah, that'd be honestly really cool. Maybe we can even make a post of that, like right at the start. Is just like what emotes would you want to see, and you can give me some ideas or give us some ideas, and we can get those made up. Now, one quick thing I want to talk about on the pre-orders. So you're saying it's a hype beast. They have them. They're just not releasing to the public, right?
Or there's a second wave coming. Like here's the thing. They're still making them. Like they're not just going to stop production for some reason. Like they're going to still make some, but I guarantee they didn't put all of them on pre-order right away. They have more coming. They're going to sell more. And again, it creates this, like every time they go up, people, like you said, True Vanguard hit it right. There's going to be people posting about it. There's going to be people freaking out every time they're for sale.
Okay, so I guess one question, and I don't really know, but do you think that they would prefer to just sell the Xbox online to you and mail it to you and deal with those logistics? Or send 300 of them to Walmart and just have people buy with them there and deal with them there? That's the one thing I want to know is like, are pre-orders limited online because it's like, this is a lot of logistics that we got to deal with? Or would they rather have a lot of stock for the in-store purchases?
Well, it's
don't
a
know.
lot of logistics someone has to deal with. It might just be, hey, FedEx has to deal with this crap. Whatever you select as the shipping, they have to deal with it. That's another sketchy thing. Like, dude, we've all had our fair share of not great deliveries. Like, your console comes and FedEx yeets it at your door or whoever, you know, like that's like, and it's like everyone's ordering online because obviously going to a big midnight release. Like, are they even going to do that? Like,
I'm not going to go. Like,
there's going to be in-store purchases, but like it's going to be sketchy these days to do that.
I think a lot of people are just like, man, I don't want to go anywhere where I got to physically stand in a line next to more human beings that I can't account for their whereabouts. A lot of us are like, man. Some people, you know, we all fall in different areas and how seriously we take the current situation globally. And there are a lot of people right now who are like, I don't want to risk exposing myself, my family, my older loved ones to that kind of stuff. So they're all going to want to do online. And for me personally, if I can't get it online, man, that's a major turnoff for me.
Well, especially because like just people are just having to do everything online. It's like you kind of realize like, oh, this is actually really easy. Like remember when the Xbox One was going to come out and it didn't have a disc, and then everyone freaked out because I want to get the disc so I can hold it tight when I sleep, and it's like, it's like now I just buy everything online. I haven't like got a physical disc in like years and years and years, and I think a lot of people also like notice you don't have anywhere near the pushback. Now, obviously, there's the option of having the one with the disc for those people who do want it. But I think most people are like, hell yeah, direct download, because that's just like they're used to it now. And the same with the pre-ordering online. Everyone's ordering everything online. It's like, I don't think a lot of people even considered about like going into a physical store.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. It's probably one of those things where like if you don't have the stock online, if you're not allowing people to order it, maybe they just don't buy it because they're like sketched out. And like even just I don't want to like be elbowing people in the line trying to fight and claw my way to get one of these things, you know?
Yeah.
Like
I mean, like
it's such a interesting situation because it's not even just the Series S that's selling out. It's all of them. And so like
yeah.
either the numbers are going to like be record-breakingly high or they're just kind of debating us, as you said, with kind of the stock. But I have a feeling we're going to see some new records.
I think though, like, sorry, just really quickly, like speaking of like in person, I heard like that's like if you're watching and you want the info about how to get a console, apparently you can go and do in-person pre-orders, and no one has done. Like someone was saying, hey, you can walk into a GameStop and say, I want to put down $5 in the pre. They'll take the pre-orders in the in-game GameStop, right?
Yeah.
It's like a nut. It's like so. It's like if they're selling, if their website's down, if whatever, you could potentially go to these stores in person, and they just like because no one's doing it, you might be able to snag one.
Yeah. And I mean, avoid the lines. Even if you want to pick it up, you know, at the last minute before they close or like not right when the doors open, you could go there in person, masked up, hazmat suited up, and then pre-order it there. I know with Walmart, I'm not quite sure. I asked today, and they kind of said in-store, it's first come, first serve. But EB Games, GameStop, anything like that, there might even be some local, other game stores that are available. They might have some sort of allocation where they're getting, 20 PlayStations or 20 Xboxes. And if you get your name on the list, it might be easier than online right now because of just how crazy the bot situation is and the overall hype for it, right?
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, this whole thing was crazy. I mean, I want to ask you guys, like, right now, based on what you've seen, who do you think's winning the console war? Xbox or PlayStation? Like, PlayStation came out, and I think it was a lot of hype about how PlayStation won because it has a better lineup of games. I thought that was a little bit exaggerated by the fanboys. Like, I think they did have a little bit of a better selection, but it wasn't by the degree that people were making it seem. It's like, yeah, Ragnarok is cool, but we literally don't know anything about it other than it's coming eventually down the line. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so Ragnarok comes in 2022, like chill or whatever, right? So now that Xbox came out and just big schlonged it, was like, boys, we bought Bethesda and we got the Game Pass and we got financing and we're cheaper. I think they're in the driver's seat.
I think it's Xbox. If I had to fall off the log today and make a prediction, and I could be wrong, I think it's Xbox. I really do. And I think it's because of the approachability of their content. But not only that, the one big winning point that PlayStation had isn't really that big of a winning point anymore. And, a lot of the titles that they flexed on us in their reveal, Sony did, are games that we know really nothing about. The games that we don't know the history, some of the developers have some history, but none of it is like good enough to have a ton of credibility where I'm like, I'm all in on that game. But you look at the companies that Microsoft has picked up, the developers they picked up in the last 5-6 years.
So why is chat saying it's not cheaper? It's $400 versus $299. It's cheaper. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the Series S is
the Series S is $299, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna give me some weird Xbox Live thing, I'm gonna give you the PS Plus thing right back at you. It's cheaper. Xbox is cheaper. What are you guys talking about, dude?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
$100
plus the
cheaper.
financing. Yeah.
What are you guys smoking in there?
I think that the Xbox titles, the Xbox exclusives that you're going to see are going to have a lot more credibility before they drop. I mean, we talked about this last week. We're like, Godfall looks kind of cool, but I don't know jack crap about that game.
Yeah.
And there's no credibility there. But you're talking about Elder Scrolls 6 and you're like, I'm all in. I don't need to know a single thing about that game. I know I'm going to buy it.
But I think people are very entrenched also. It's kind of interesting. Like someone in chat was like, yo, God of War looks sick. It's like, bro, you've seen a symbol, right? That's it. You've seen a symbol of the Ragnarok thing. That's no, sorry, not Godfall. God of War. They're like, yo, God of War looks sweet. Or maybe I mixed it up. But like, it's interesting. Like that's another point. It's like, are these consoles gonna fight it out for an extended period of time? Because God of War is a huge seller that's going to ship units for PlayStation, right? And I can't even hate. If you're like, I'm buying a PlayStation because I'm a God of War fan, I'd be like, yep, makes sense to me. That game's dope. But Xbox also has Halo delayed to 2021. So it's going to be interesting. I feel like, and we talked about this before, like Mtashed, you were talking a lot about like how many games are getting delayed in the background. There were so many delays, like all this stuff for the next gens. Could it be like we kind of have them duke it out initially, and then in holiday 2021 we have Halo come out, we maybe have some big PlayStation games come out, and they have like the second battle, and they actually have some more like solid games on their side?
It's like the battle of who's gonna release the most games this year, and like why you should switch consoles almost, you know, like trying to bait people over. I mean, that's the thing is like I do agree with Ryan, like the accessibility, I think, of the Xbox. I think there is going to be more Xboxes sold, personally. With the financing, with the pricing, I think it's going to win. Like, PlayStation, I know that you've got Knack 4 being made. Like, bro, I got to get my Knack 4 in. But, I don't know. There are some awesome games. I'm definitely excited for them. But for every game that I'm excited for PlayStation, I'm excited for a different one for Xbox. And you know, I guess the biggest thing is, in most cases, a lot of the games are just available on PC anyways. Like, most of them are on PC as well. So I don't know. I think that if we're looking at just console, I think the Xbox wins on the value alone. It's just too good for me.
Yeah, like, again, you got to envision the teenager trying to get their mom to buy a console, and you're like, but mom, it's $100 more, but Spider-Man's on it. She's like, shut up. Like, I'm going to get the one that's $100 cheaper. Like, chill. You know what I mean? It's going to be interesting. I think that there's value, but your point, I think, is a very good point, Tash, about like, it's interesting. There's like PlayStation exclusives, but they're also on PC, and then Xbox exclusives, but they're also on PC. And then it's just the PlayStation, the Xbox that won't play with each other. But like, PC players are just getting like pretty much everything.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I think, honestly, I think that there is one reason why Xbox is coming out so hard. One bottom line reason, and that is the fact that they lost the last console war. And people resist change. And we've seen it in chat tonight where people are like, I've just been a PS guy all my life. They don't even have a good reason for why they're going to stick to PlayStation.
Spider-Man!
It's just because it's convenient. It's just because it's convenient, you know? And I mean, I'm guilty of that too. I'm like, I know I'm going to buy a PlayStation 5. Why? Because it's going to be really convenient for me. I've got my profile. I've got my friends list. I've got all these things already underneath me. So if Xbox is going to win people over like me, like other PlayStation people, because they lost the lost console war, the last one, they've got more people that are over there. They got to win them over. The value of the Xbox has to be greater than the convenience of staying. It has to be greater than the convenience of staying. I think that's the main reason they're coming out so hard.
That is, honestly, that goes on in the vehicle world. Like a Hyundai, a Kia, they have to have cooled seats and fucking jetpacks. They have to add so much value for the same price or less than a Toyota or a Honda, or people just won't buy them. A Kia Stinger, if you look at like a Kia Stinger, that's a damn nice car for the money. If you look at that car
Come on.
For the money, it has some pretty good specs. If you look
Yeah,
at
but
some
then
of
you
the,
gotta tell people you own a Kia Stinger.
oh, I know
you
exactly. It's got the name, it's got the stigma, but it's like Xbox was that console that people used as a paperweight for a long time. Unfortunately, for a very long time. I mean, mine went pretty much unused. And now it does look more appealing. They've got those games, but also it's got that value. It's pulling me over. I'm not as worried about swapping over.
It's gonna be interesting. Like,
know?
truly, both consoles offer a lot. Like, I want to make it clear, we're not just crapping on PlayStation. PlayStation is a great quality product. Like, was it $500, and it is like vastly superior than the PlayStation 4. Both of these are such an improvement over the existing generation. It's phenomenal, right? But like, yeah, people are entrenched. Like, you see people like, yo, but plays Xbox One S can't even play in 4K. It's like, do you have a 4K monitor? Well, no. It's like, well,
Yeah,
what are you
exactly.
doing, dude?
Where's your
Anyways,
$1,000 monitor? Hold on, I got one more thing to say.
All right, go ahead.
Do you want to know who's winning the console war though? It's
You say PC?
no. It's Microsoft, and it's the Game Pass, and it's getting $2 billion a year in Game Pass memberships. They don't have to
True.
make the discs. They don't have to make the paper. They don't need to make the boxes. They don't need to ship out any of that stuff. There's a lot of people that are going to be buying digital. It's going to be on digital on the Game Pass. And yes, it costs a lot of money to make these games, but they save so much money on shipping all these games out and having just digital access. And the amount of people that are buying it, they are getting so much value, it's not even funny. And it's going to scale up because people don't even have the Xbox in their hands yet. The amount of people that are going to sign up, bro, it just skyrocket. 20 million, 30 million.
The future. I would say one last thing, because I probably am going to get heat for keep interrupting people because I'm so passionate. But listen, dude, that's whatever you are, that is the perfect point. Because think about, like, okay, you used to sell a game, then you had to manufacture, you had to pay a manufacturing facility to make the disc, to make the cover art, to make all that stuff. Then it goes to Best Buy or Future Shop or whatever back in the day. Then you got to split the commission with Future Shop because they're selling it. Like, now you literally click a button and you give a little bit to PlayStation or Xbox store, or again, if it's first party, if it's Xbox's own store, no commission on that. And then the devs are probably gonna maybe get a little bit more money from that too. Like, it just cuts out so much cost. And that's why you see, like, it looks so insane. Like, how are they making money on this Game Pass? That's how, dude, they're saving so much money.
That's right.
By doing everything digitally.
No, exactly. And shipping weights and gas, like, it adds up to an astronomical amount. But let's move on. We've talked about this a whole bunch. I wanted to talk about something else because we've seen this debate happen all the time in Destiny, and that's skill-based matchmaking. And it really blew up. It went viral on Twitter the other day because of Call of Duty.
Yeah. That's right.
I'll do a quick. I think, am I the only one here who played the Call of Duty?
You played COD, yeah.
Oh, I didn't play it. Yeah, go ahead if you want to unpack it.
Basically, here's a little unpacked situation. Call of Duty Alpha comes out, and a bunch of the huge streamers and pros, Scump was a huge advocate of this, and one of the best Call of Duty players in the world. And they were complaining about skill-based matching. They're saying, this alpha has strict skill-based matchmaking, and this is no good, because you've got to remember, people are furious about this because they're coming from Modern Warfare, and Modern Warfare has extremely strict skill-based matchmaking. Like, rivals, if not puts to shame, Destiny, when Destiny had it quite a bit. Like, if you do well in Modern Warfare, it's like, all right, time to go pro, bro. And it throws you against, like, just absolute sweat lords, right? And so people are very cognizant of that, and the hardcore community really obviously does not like skill-based matchmaking. And so SBMM was trending like #1 on Twitter because so
crazy,
many people,
man.
And the craziest part is actually a lot of creators I listen to, like Exclusive Ace and stuff, were saying that it actually wasn't that high. And when they were playing solo, they barely noticed it. And they're thinking that what was really going on.
Oh God, here we go again. He's got the hat on.
They were saying what's really going on was party-based matchmaking. And then they noticed that a lot of these people complaining about skill-based matchmaking, it's basically what Destiny did to us in the Iron Banner, where if you were playing with people, it would only match you against like a similar skill other groups and you just sweat it out, right?
But
So
good.
that's kind of what happened.
Good.
And
right?
yeah, people were
Like,
furious.
isn't that what people want? And like that's why they do it in Overwatch, so that a team of 6 can't just like destroy random solo players. Like Overwatch does that, and it's pretty effective. But I don't think I've ever really seen that in COD. Like
So
that must be new.
Well, no, well, not in Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare has turned on skill-based. Skill-based matchmaking in Modern Warfare is insane. It is to the point where reverse boosting is like so effective. Like literally, if you watch like YouTubers who are like, you know, they're known for good gameplay, they got Smurf accounts. You know what I mean? They suicide 5 games in a row and then just absolutely slay out. Like it is absolutely really high in Modern Warfare. So people are very, very like testy about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing is the reason popped off so much is a bunch of content creators talk about it, and then a bunch of their audience goes, "Well, you just want to stomp us." But then there's other content creators who are like, "Yeah, you just want to stomp people. You're a dick." You know, it was people coming at the argument from literally every angle. Content creators, people.
I think it was
you know,
overwhelmingly anti-skill based matchmaking. I think that there you will find some examples. There certainly are, but I think overwhelmingly the people being passionate about Twitter do not want skill based matchmaking.
But some of the biggest posts were also for it. Like from some of the biggest
I'm
people
sure.
saying, like
Yeah.
even that Fwiz from YouTube, he messaged, he's just like, you know, part of me is like, hey, I like being able to play and have a good time, but also part of me realizes that, you know, if people aren't stomping me, they're probably not making that sick YouTube content. And that's, I guess that is something to worry about, but you have to look at the greater good. And people are arguing with skill-based matchmaking. Yes, people at the top get pissed, but there's a reason that companies keep throwing it in, because it leads to player retention and it leads to higher numbers. I don't know the stat though. Like I don't know what the stat
And
is
that's
on
the
that.
funny thing, because like with the last Destiny update where they fully removed skill-based matchmaking from everything except for survival, you know,
Mhm.
they really didn't give a lot of reasons in that TWAB when they talked about it. They just said, "Hey, we did it. We think this is best." That's literally what this says. We think this is best, more or less words. And I actually responded and tagged some of the Crucible guys and said, "I'd be curious to know what specific, you know, data points led to that decision. Why is it that you thought that was a good decision?" And their response back, they literally, some of the Crucible guys, they just said, "We said all we wanted to say about that in the TWAP," which was literally nothing. It was
Really?
nothing. So I would that's the thing. I would love to know those data points. What numbers are they looking at? What specific data points did they look at that made them say, "We need to make a change. We need to take skill-based matchmaking out"? And the response to that has been so divided. Like it's really a mixed bag. And as a content creator, as somebody who plays Destiny well and some other shooters pretty well, it is a lot more fun, admittedly, when skill-based matchmaking gets removed and you get a mixed bag in your lobbies. You can have more fun because killing is fun, right? Slaying out is fun time. But I also have matches where I'm like, I don't feel good about this. This was a cakewalk for me to get a 50 bomb, and I feel like I just ruined a few people's days. And that is not a good feeling. So I see both sides of it, and a lot of people just think, "Oh, you're a content creator, you want skill-based gone because you want to get your content, you want to stop." And honestly, not many of us are in that position. I know there's actually a lot of us who have said, "Hey, honestly, if you give me like skirmish 3v3 with skill-based matchmaking, if you give me a doubles playlist 2v2 with skill-based matchmaking, I would live in there." Some of us really love to have those good duels, those good experiences like that, where you're really working for every kill in those competitive situations. So I mean, I get both sides of it. I do.
Uh, man, I think it's kind of a different bag when you have Call of Duty. And Call of Duty is such a casual game. You play Call of Duty for a couple hours after work and then you go to bed, right? And I think I as you guys like skill-based matchmaking and need I think the thing that most people miss about this is people act like it's either yes or no. And there's no in between. When in reality, it's a dial, right? And you can turn skill-based matchmaking parameters up and you can dial it down. And so when we say it's too high, I don't know why you get people that are like, you just want to stop and turn it off. It's like, I want to turn it down. I don't want to turn it off because I'm matching people in Germany and China right now, and I can't even shoot straight because the game is like trying to find someone who can match me. Like that's not fun for anybody. All
Yeah.
right, and also I will say something that's frustrating is like I've talked about this and had arguments with people. I'm like, hey, skill-based matchmaking is off. This is the best time to improve at the game. This is where you're going to notice improvement. If you use a loadout that vibes with you, you're gonna do better. And I literally had people reply and say, I don't want to try harder. I just want to do better. So it's like,
Right. It's like, well,
so like that's
bad.
some of the people you're dealing with. People
Yeah.
are like, I want the game to do it for me. I don't want to learn anything. I don't want to try new things. I don't want to learn the map. I just want to play and turn my brain off, right? And that unfortunately makes up a decent amount of the casual gamer, and that's who they think skill-based matchmaking is like there for them. But also, like, I'm sure those people, they think they're going to get stomped, and sometimes they do get stomped, but it also means that they're finding more sweaty matches more often. There could be people even lower than them that they never match with. And so I think the main thing is like people are arguing for two playlists, like a public playlist where there's no skill-based matchmaking, and then a ranked playlist where if you want skill-based matchmaking, go in here. And if you're a bad player, you can still go in the ranked playlist because you'll be ranked low and you'll verse people of a similar rank. Like that's exactly the problem that everyone's mad about, is that it's hidden. And the problem with it being hidden is like, okay, let's say you have a bad game or you start doing poorly. Did you get worse? Did you have a bad day? Are you using a bad loadout? Is this a bad map for you? You're never going to know. Or did you match better people? Like that's such a frustrating thing. You could be doing better as a player. You could improve your loadout, improve your gameplay, and then the games get harder because it matches you against harder people, and you can't tell. It's just a frustrating, confusing experience. Put a stupid rank in, for God's sakes. If you have skill-based matchmaking, there needs to be a rank that tells what bracket you're in. This is undeniable. If you disagree with this, you're not a real gamer. Get the hell out of here. Okay, honestly though, I'm not even saying remove it. I'm just saying put a stupid number beside me so I can track my improvement. That's all I'm saying.
Even in social playlists, Halo 3 showed that. If you highlighted over a player in Halo 3 in a social playlist, it would say this player's max rank is 46, 48, 38, whatever. And you could see that even in the social playlist. So you knew going in like, hey, I'm in the social playlist. There's no skill-based matchmaking, but dang, that guy's a baller. I need to look out for him. Another thing that is a bit of a bad guy, in my opinion, can be lobby balancing. And a lot of different games, not just Destiny, have a lobby balancing system. A lot of people think that matchmaking is just a one thing that happens and it's done and the match starts. It's not. Matchmaking pulls in all the players. So if it's 6v6, it pulls in 12 players. And then lobby balancing is a completely different system.
Which is also ass.
Which in Destiny, by the way, I love Destiny. It sucks.
Yeah.
But what they do is they just work off of averages. So this is what let me unpack this real quick for you. So if you have 12 players in the lobby, what it's going to do is if you have an outlier, it's going to throw things off entirely if the system works on averages. So say you have a player that is, let's call him a 10 on the skill scale, on a 1 to 10 scale. And then you've got the rest of the lobby that's like 7, 7, 6, 6, 5, and then a 1 and a 2. What it's going to do is it's going to take whatever team gets the 10, it's going to say, okay, we need to offset his 10 and average out the skill on the teams. So we'll give him the 1 and the 2 and maybe a 4. And so what ends up happening is you have a team where 5 people out of 6 are worse than every player on the other team. And that's why if you follow content creators or good players on Twitter, you'll see them post screenshots where they have 50 kills and then it's 8, 7, 6. And everybody's negative. That's because their whole team is worse than everybody on the other team because it's working off of averages. And so the real people that get screwed over are not the people that have to go against the 10 skill person. It's the team that's with him because they are the offset to his skill. And they have to go against a whole team that's better than them. Everybody.
And also it sucks for the 10. Like I'm just really quickly, dude, I used to play Battlefield and it would do the 32-32 rush mode. I was really, really good at Battlefield. And it would basically, because I was really good at Battlefield, it would be like, oh, this Rick Kackis guy can carry 31 other absolute dinguses who like have never played a game before in their life. And I would be like 4 times the amount of kills. I'd be trying to do objectives. People would be running around with chickens with their head cut off. It's like for objective games, for like Slayer games, maybe, but for objective games, it's so unfair to be like, you carry 5 other people on capture flags. It's like, that's not going to work out.
Well,
That's
Never.
right. And everybody's like, oh, so I hate it must be the connection-based matchmaking. It sucks. I need skill-based back. And the thing is that they have the wrong boogeyman. They do. They've got the wrong boogeyman. The real boogeyman is the lobby balancing.
right. Picture
For
this
a lot
way.
of it, yeah.
Who's going to win a basketball game? Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant? I don't care who you pick. Like, Michael Jordan on a team with kindergarten kids or a high school basketball team. Who's going to win? Probably the high school basketball team, the overall much more average player, because there's a bunch of kindergarten kids. Michael Jordan is trying to pick them up by their collars and be like, no, get the ball, right? And people, as you said, the kindergarten kids are having a terrible time because they don't want to be playing this. They don't want to get dominated, and they are getting dominated because they're worse than everyone on the other team. And Michael Jordan, or in our case, True Vanguard, because we know you're not carrying Kackis, you know, the person at the top is having a terrible time as well because his entire team can't support, or her entire team, or whoever. They can't support, they can't help. It's so uneven. Now, I want to unpack a couple other things too. With the whole skill-based matchmaking thing, you know, it's not a black and white thing. There's so many things that go into it. You know, Kackis was saying, well, I just want to do better. Or players, I just want to do better. But they're not willing to improve and learn. And they're like, well, I want skill-based matchmaking to protect me. But here's the thing. There's social lobbies, there's ranked lobbies. There's a big problem there too. Because if you are a player that wants to get protected, you should be in the ranked lobbies with heavy skill-based matchmaking, and you should figure out what your rank is. Everyone starts at the bottom, and if everyone plays it, they'll start moving their way up, and you'll stay low, right?
Yeah,
But instead, they don't do that. They just avoid it completely. They're too scared to go in it. That is where you should go if you want to protect yourself, but then they just avoid it and complain even more. They go in the social lobbies, they get dominated because it's like, well, yeah. And then the other issue is they have these ranked lobbies, but there's no reward for going up in it. In Halo, I liked it. I didn't care. I wanted that badge by my name. Maybe that was reward enough. But, you know, you're asking players to go in a ranked lobby and sweat it out, but then there's nothing in it for them. So then they don't use it either. So just no one uses these systems properly. It's a shame because, like, it could work really well. You could have a place where you can play with your friends, and, you know, if you have weaker friends, you can actually play with them instead of lobby balancing trucking you or skill-based matchmaking trucking you. Like, I don't know. There's so many friends that I have, even in content creation, and I've tried playing games, and then they're like, yeah, it's not very fun because, like, the teams we're playing are just too good. They're just, it ruins the experience.
That was Modern Warfare. That was the downsides that people forget about when it's high. Like, it's like, oh, even if you're not that great of a player, if you want to play with your better friend, you're going to have a horrible time. And yeah, you can't track your improvement. Like, if you do better, you're just thrown against harder games. Like, your connection usually gets worse because it tries to find people that not necessarily based on your connection, but find people based on your skill. There's a whole bunch of problems that people, like, they don't think, they literally just think, like, if it's turned off, I will get absolutely stomped. But the vast majority of people are just average players. You're not going to get stomped as much as you think. You will in, like, Iron Banner when people are, like, trying to win and going hard, but that's because that whole thing is designed around wins. Like,
can I jump on that? That's the thing too, is, like, if you ever look at the, like, the bell curve and the average standard deviations, the people that are in the 1% is 1%, right? And with standard deviations, the mass majority is right around average people. Like, I wish I could pull it up on the stream here, but like 96% of people are all within one little standard deviation. If you take the most average player, like, you know, 40% are going to be fractionally better and 40% are going to be fractionally smaller, but almost everyone is right there. And so the majority of people you're running into are going to be a little bit better, a little bit worse, but you're going to have opportunities that if you put in the time and improve, you will be better than the mass majority of people. But they're not willing to do that. And here's the other thing. When you add the skill-based matchmaking and when games get sweatier, typically they get less fun because what is everyone trying to do? Win. And
sweat it out.
What causes you to win in many games is not what is fun. if you're in heavy skill-based matchmaking and the noob tube grenade launcher is the best way to win, guess what everyone's wearing? Right? A noob tube grenade launcher. If you're playing Destiny right now, the best way to win in Trials of Osiris is to peek around corner with a sword, right? You're looking past walls. You're waiting there with high intellect to get your super ability. You don't even have to shoot your gun. You can win games.
Also, you're furiously popping enlargement pills, hoping that it'll make a difference.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The thing is,
Did you
like,
know that the
people
top...
like that, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna interrupt you, Mike. I just want to say, make one short point.
Yeah,
the top 4 weapons in Trials right now for usage rate are not things that are being used. They're just equipped. It's 4 swords. The top 4 guns in Trials right now are swords that aren't accounting for any kills at all.
Right.
People just have them equipped.
Right, no one's actually using them. They're just literally on them. That's mess.
Dude.
Because if you're gonna be playing and you're gonna be trying to win and there's skill-based matchmaking, everyone's gonna take the path of least resistance. And in a lot of cases, that's the annoying things. That's why you see so much mountaintop recluse back in the day. That's why you still see mountaintop. Because instead of having to aim, they just fly through the air and shoot a rocket launcher at your feet. And it just
it's been a lot better,
devolves,
honestly.
dude.
Since they got rid of it, I've seen a lot more variety because you can
Yeah.
actually use off-meta stuff and you're not punished for it,
Right.
right?
But even now, you still see gnawing hunger every single game, the entire game. Like 90% of people are using it. Why? It's the best gun. And even if you don't have skill-based matchmaking, people want to win. They want to do good. They're going to abuse these things. And so it's like, it's such a... It's so frustrating to me. It's so frustrating to me because you're never going to make everyone happy. And you know, everyone's at each other's throats on Twitter fighting about this. But, you know, it's not like anyone's right or anyone's wrong. It's just such a delicate thing. We need systems
No, mountaintop
that make
users
sense.
are wrong.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's
three
fair.
peekers are wrong too. They're wrong. Yeah, like come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess the big thing is when does this change?
You need to have 2 playlists though. I think you need to have a clear ranked and unranked so people know, right? And
I agree. I think so too.
Honestly, in fair, you can have a little bit of skill-based matchmaking in the public thing, but it needs to be quite toned down. And the main thing is there needs to be a protected bracket for like people who are handicapped or disabled or like just new to first-person shooters. Like they have no clue what they're doing. Call of Duty does have this. It's had that for years and years, like an absolute bottom echelon protected bracket. And people like in Modern Warfare reverse boosted so far they got into this bracket. And it's insane. Like it's like you're playing bots. No, bots are like 10 times harder than it. It is insane. But these are the people who like really casually play. They have and they don't deserve to be matched against, you know, us 3. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You just got the game on Game Pass. You don't play first-person shooters. You don't deserve to have your butt kicked. There should be a protected bracket. But once you get used to it and become an average player, you're thrown out to the wild. Welcome to life, baby. It's not all going to be good. You're going to get stomped. You're going to stomp. You're going to trade. You're going to have close games. You're going to experience it all. Like,
and
yeah.
That even is, as what we said with the bell curve, you know, there's the 1% that's at the top that's better than everyone, but there is that other group that's worse. And so, you know, they're going to lose to the majority of people. And maybe you do a bracket for people that have an account with less than 5 hours played or something like that, right?
People just start new accounts and far
Right?
for content, dude.
Okay, but, you know, the other thing too is if 96% of the people are in this average group, why wouldn't they, like, do the companies think that the skill-based matchmaking is the best for the majority of people? I don't know that. That's what I'm wondering, is it keeps happening. So it must be profitable, or there must be some data there, or something. But it doesn't seem like anyone's happy with it. 96% of people are happy.
Yeah, the majority of casual players do want skill-based matchmaking, again, and for good reason. Like, we're not trying to crap on them. Like, obviously, they don't deserve to be crapped on every single game, right? But the problem is that the people who this pisses off is going to be the entrenched players, the fanboys, right?
The people who love your game.
You're pissing off the people that are here every expansion, every season. They buy every emote. They buy every ornament, right? They buy ornaments because they're an inch longer, right? And they think they're going to do, you know, a tiny bit more damage, dude. Those are the people you're pissing off. So it's like you're willing to piss off those people to make the people who are like gone the second your game's dry, right?
Yeah.
It's like they find one more thing, they find a new game, they're gone, right? Those are the people you're catering to. That you could make an argument like that's not the best business approach. That's what Modern Warfare 100% did.
Yeah. I want to make two very brief points
Okay.
Just
based
go
off
ahead,
of
just
that.
interrupt us, dude. I interrupt everyone.
Shut
apparently,
us
so-
up.
One of the things I would say is that I think, and this is something that not just me, but also another YouTuber named Cool Guy who makes some fantastic Crucible content if you're a Destiny fan.
Shout out to
But
Cool Guy.
shout out to Cool Guy. There has to be outlier protection. This is something that a lot of people are saying. There has to be outlier protection. So it's not that we just want connection-based matchmaking, but if you're gonna have connection-based matchmaking, which is, in my opinion, the lesser of two evils, I think you also have to have outlier protection. So 10s can't match 1s on a 1 to 10 scale of skill. So there has to be a skill range to make sure that some players just never, under any circumstances, will match each other unless they're in a pre-made fire team.
Yeah.
And it's just plain and simple. And that will eliminate the issues. Well, not eliminate, but it'll certainly alleviate the issues that you run into with lobby balancing, which comes after the matchmaking process. It'll make sure that those averages are going to work out a little bit better, and you're not going to end up in a situation where 5 out of 6 players are worse than everyone on the other team. The other thing that I would say based off of that is that I do not envy developers right now. I do not envy developers right now. And this is something that I've kind of become known for, an idea I've become known for in our community, is that I believe that gamers do have some responsibility. I believe that making a good experience does not solely rest on the shoulders of the developer. I would say it's probably an 80-20 split. The unfortunate reality is that gamers themselves will find any and every method they can to make sure that they can stomp people. Okay, they will, like you've been talking about tonight, Kackis, they'll sit there and they'll suicide for 5-6 matches, however long it takes, to make sure that they can get into a situation where they absolutely destroy. They will make new profiles. They will leverage the scummiest, nastiest ways of playing the game, glitches, exploits, whatever it may be. They'll do anything and everything they can to make sure that they have the path of least resistance, and they don't care whose day they ruin. They don't care if they're ruining the player population. The more they do it and the more people leave the game because they're the victims of it, they don't care. And I do believe that it is the responsibility to a certain degree of the players to ensure that if you love a game and you're passionate about the game, you are also somewhat responsible for making sure that the game can live on.
AKA,
And so that
put away
should
the sword for one
dictate
damn round.
that should dictate the way that you play the game. And I think that to say that you aren't willing to do that is a really selfish thing, and I think it says a lot about your character outside of gaming too.
AKA, yeah, use some variety. Don't use the sword every damn trials round. You know what I mean? Like maybe sometimes if you're at 6 wins, okay, but if you got 1 win, chill, dude. You know what I mean? Like chill.
Are you
But
guys?
also, can I say quickly?
Yeah.
This whole debate is really like why Destiny is so cool is the fact that it has this thriving PvE side. If things aren't working out in PvP, you can go and do all this PvE content and vice versa. Like Call of Duty, it's pretty much you are at the mercy of, potentially bad skill-based matchmaking and the PvP. And if you don't like that, like, what are you going to do? Play the campaign? Probably not. This new one, I guess you can play zombies, but still, like a lot of these games, like Fortnite, all these battle royales, it's like PvP or nothing. And the fact that Destiny does have a both, I think really helps the community, like, not just be at each other's throats even more than they already are.
Yeah.
That's fair. That makes sense. And I mean, I guess that's part of it too, is because there's PvE in Destiny, you get such a wide range of players and skills, and some people like never want to touch PvP, and then they got to go in there and then they get stomped by Frostbolt. Like it does have such a unique ecosystem of players, and they just got to make sure that the systems work for the mass majority of players. And I think in a lot of cases, in many of these companies, it's not working. Between either the connections or the lobby balancing or the tight skill-based matchmaking, no one wants to sit there trying to find a game for 10 minutes. And then you get into the game and it's laggy and stuff like that, right? Like it's such an important part of the experience for the players that I feel like there needs to be some major investments in these, and hopefully in the near future, these companies can kind of figure it out. Was there...
Yeah.
Anything else you guys wanted to talk about with the skill-based matchmaking or anything else? No? This is a pretty long episode.
Been over an hour.
yeah.
We're liars. Real gamer hour and 10
Real
minutes.
gamer 1.2 hours.
Yeah.
It's been a good time, though. We had a lot of good discussion, pretty juicy topics. Just a reminder, make sure to follow Real Gamer Hour on Twitter. Make sure to follow on YouTube and hit that subscribe as well as the bell. And in the next week or so, we are going to have memberships. So that is something that's going to be really cool. We're going to be able to have badges in the chat for your names. We're going to get some emotes made up. You're going to be able to go into viewer polls and discuss future content, suggest content to us, maybe even see some behind-the-scenes pics of the old Tash man flexing. Who knows? But that is going to be the optimal way to support the podcast. We already saw some amazing super chats today. Thank you guys. Honestly, you guys had crazy. I just want to take a quick minute while we finish this episode to read some of them out. Christopher with a 10, another 5. We got Relative Rules with a $5, E-Boy with a $5, Technomancer with 5. We got a 69.69 from Rodeo. Another $50, another $50 5. You got that is absolutely insanity. That goes towards us editing. That goes towards us, building this thing and growing it. And maybe down the road we can do an episode where we get together. It opens so many doors if we can help grow this thing. The following support's been amazing. We had, 800, 900 viewers for most of this podcast.
You have to take your shirt off, by the way, because we got to 900 viewers.
All right, boys. Let's go!
You thought we wouldn't do it. You thought we wouldn't do it. People left, dude. People left. They're like, hey.
Where is it at? No. But seriously, this is such a cool experience. We're having a lot of fun with it. And the numbers that we're seeing, I think is really catching all of us on guard. This is a very different thing for us. And so we appreciate you. We can't wait to provide some more fun stuff for you. And that's pretty much it. I'm Mtashed.
I'm KackisHD.
I'm slow on the uptake. True Vanguard. Thanks for hanging out.
We are the Real Gamer Hour. You can find us on Twitter, on YouTube. We're going to have the Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music. It's going to be on all the podcast things. There's links on our Twitter for all that. You can find us on Anchor. Anywhere there's a podcast, you'll be able to find us. Just Google RGH or Real Gamer Hour. Thanks again. Have a great day, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.